I want to say thank you to Simply Safe for sponsoring this video. This week, I built a chair that is not only pretty dang comfortable to sit in, but can also tuck into itself to quickly be transported or stowed away. Let me show you how I built it. Now, I created a set of templates that establish the needed curves for both the front and back legs. I actually had two template options here. The first being a digital paper set that you can print off on your computer, tape the pieces together at the alignment marks, then cut out and attach to your board with some spray adhesive. After cutting the part out, you can sand away the paper. Or an upgraded option is I also have MDF templates where you can use double-sided tape to attach the template to your board, then you can use a flush trim bit to get a perfect replica every time. Whichever option you choose to cut your legs, they will need sanding afterwards. You can definitely use a palm sander to go over every part, regardless of the shape. But since I have an entire sanding station set up, I typically use my oscillating belt sander to hit all of the convex curves, the curves that bulge outwards. Then move my pile over to the oscillating spindle sander where I use the largest spindle to hit the concave curves. Those are the curves that sink inwards. Now, the templates do have notches in them. This will help make locating different parts easier and also allow the chair to interlock easier. Just be sure to avoid sanding them out because they are useful. I want to say thank you to Simply Safe for sponsoring this video. I've been partnered with Simply Safe for years now. I use it for my commercial shop, my personal shop, as well as my home. Simply Safe protects your whole home around the clock 24/7. Every door, window, and room. And it's backed by the best 24/7 professional monitoring in the business that will call the authorities immediately in an emergency. I've actually had 2 instances where police have been dispatched to location, so it really does work. Ordering and setup are so easy. You can design a system best fit for your space, and best part is it ships directly to your doorstep. Simply Safe is less than $1 a day, and you can set it up in around 30 minutes. There's never a long-term contract, and they even have a 60-day risk-free trial to see if you like it. Simply Safe protects over 1 million homes in the US alone, so if you're needing a security system, then you can get 20% off when you sign up for the interactive monitoring plan and get your first month for free. If you want to learn more, you can go to simplysafe.com/April. With the legs done, I set those aside and started on making the slats. These are easy. You'll just need a few 1x Western Red Cedar boards. All of the measurements are the same, so I flipped out the wings on my miter saw stand, set up a stop block with a clamp, then cut down 2 boards at a time to the needed length. Be sure to always hold the board on the side where it is between the blade and the stop block, as this is where the pinch point is that can cause kickback. Out of these boards, I grabbed the number needed to make the slats, then ripped them down to width at the table saw. Western Red Cedar is such an easy wood to work with. Even though there are a few to make, it goes very quick. Next, I picked up my pile and toted them to my router table. This is just to add some extra flair. If you don't have a router, you can definitely leave your parts square, but I threw in a 1/4 inch roundover bit in my Triton router and gave each slat a rounded edge on one side, including the 2 ends. Okay, with everything made and sanded, let's throw these parts together and build a chair. Oh, wait, before attaching slats, I wanted to make a handle. To do this, I grabbed 1 slat to start and drew a few marks to line out a handle. Then I found something curved, which in my case is a cell phone, just to make the square edges round. I used my bandsaw to cut this out, but you could also use a jigsaw if you don't have one. After getting 1 cut, I used it to trace the pattern on a second slat and also cut that one out. Now, once I put these together, I have a slot that will make a handle. Okay, and now I can start assembling. I grabbed the 2 legs that will make up the front, and making sure they are facing the correct direction, I attached a slat. There's a little notch in the template to indicate where the piece goes, and it should just pop right in. I used exterior wood glue and 2 screws per side on this board to attach it. After setting the first screw, I used a speed square to make sure the leg is at a true 90 before attaching the second. Next, I flipped the chair around and repeated by attaching the slats. Here I'm starting with the 2 handled slats facing the first one down, then the second one up. You'll notice that I used screws in a few places, but brad nails for the rest. Pretty much anywhere there is a lot of pressure or a load on a board, such as the hand grabbing it or a chair part resting on it, I would use a screw. But the remainder, wood glue and brad nails, is sufficient. Oh, and to make spacing them quick and easy, I'm using the template as a spacer, but of course any scrap wood would work. And that is half of the body done. I set that aside and pretty much repeated the same steps to make up the back legs and the seat. The most important thing to pay attention to while building this chair is that the seat part will fit inside the back part. It won't fit inside itself if you build the seat too wide, so you'll see me paying attention before attaching my first slat. Again, I used a speed square to check for square along the way. Now the material I'm going with is Western red cedar, which is my go-to wood choice for any outdoor furniture. I not only love the wide variety of beautiful colors, but it's also naturally resistant to both rot and insects. My property is littered with years of projects built from Western red cedar as it holds up forever to the elements, especially if you put a coat of finish on it. So that completes the build and leaves me these two individual parts. Now, if I did everything correctly, this part should be able to slide into here. Test 1 complete. Test 2 is making sure it will hold. And complete. Let me hop down from this workbench and really test it out. So it's a chair, but then when I want to move it or stow it away, I just pull out the seat and place it into the back of the back. Then I also have a handle to carry it around easily. Not too shabby. Then of course, if I wanted it to be a chair again, I could just pull the seat out of the back and put it in its place. Huh? This one might be one of my favorites, guys. And this is another reason Western red cedar is a go-to of mine. It's super lightweight, which makes hauling one or even two of these a breeze. And that's it for this one, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget that I have templates and plans, not only for this build, but also for a huge library of other ones. So I'll leave you a link down in the description if you want to check it out. I'll see you on my next video.